Greetings, YouTubers. Today is Wednesday, August 20-something. Tiny Metal Tube came up on Saturday and camped here until yesterday evening. He's really got a nice setup. Lots of solar power, 700 watts of solar on his roof, and a little over 400 amp hours of storage in some AGM deep cycle batteries, and all big fat cable running everywhere to mitigate some of the loss and all that stuff. So it was great having him up here. It was great having some company. We had some really good conversations and learned some things from him. He's a smart guy, he really is. And so anyway, it was a pleasure spending those few days with him and getting to know him a little bit better. And I'm hoping to repeat that process over and over again as I work my way into this lifestyle. I think maybe I should rephrase that. I think I've kind of worked my way in pretty good. I've been doing this since now. We departed February 24th. Our house sold on the 23rd. We closed on the 23rd. And we had to be out on the 24th of February. So we had everything packed and ready to go at the signing, and we headed for Quartzsite on the 24th, and traveled a couple of days, and then camped in Quartzsite for about 3 days, I think it was, and then we worked our way up to my dad's house up in the San Bernardino Mountains. He lives in a little town called Blue Jay. And which is where we started building out, where I started building out the trailer, which is what you see around me now. I'm just kind of laying on, this is what I've been calling the quick bunks. And we stayed there for a couple of months. We left on May 11th, and then headed up towards the Long Valley Caldera up in central California. It's just on the east of the Sierras up by Mammoth Lakes. Beautiful area. And enjoyed some natural hot springs there. Was camped for about 10 days, and then we worked our way up to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, up in the panhandle of Idaho, and I did a couple of weeks of stealth camping up there near my sister's house, and I wasn't bothered by anybody. I was didn't deploy the pods. It was all, quick bunk kind of deal, and spent some time with my sister, and bought my little freezer down here that I make ice with now for my ice chest, and it's been working pretty good. But when it gets hot and I'm gone, I think it's more to do with the fact that it was hot out, and I took some road trips, some day trips up to like Yellowstone and Mesa Falls, and I did some fishing at Warm River, and so the camper was closed up. My trailer was closed up all day in what was about 100-degree temperatures, ambient temperatures outside. So I think it just got really hot in here, and the ice couldn't keep up. So it melted faster than I could refreeze it in my freezer. But other than that, it's been working pretty good. Doesn't seem to use a whole lot of power. I've got it plugged in right now. I reached a float about an hour ago, and I let it hang there for a bit, and then I plugged the freezer back in. I cleaned it. I took advantage of the fact that it was defrosted, cleaned it out a little bit, and then put a jug of water in there, and then I have these little 4 by 5 little ice packs, I guess you call them, and I have about 9 of those that I'm freezing, and then I'll swap those into the cooler when they're frozen, probably sometime tomorrow, and then I'll take the ones that are in the cooler and put them back in the freezer, and I just go back and forth like that. And it works really good. So that's what I'm doing right now. Not my long-term solution. I'd like to get a 12-volt refrigerator freezer, either nomadic or winter. I've heard that the winters don't last as long. If you guys have got any opinions about the winter refrigerators, have used them, be really interested to know what your thoughts are on those. The one thing I like about the winter, especially the dual zone ones, is that they actually have a divider between the zones, so there's a little more temperature control. Although it seems like in the nomadic versions, you can set the temperature pretty low and then put everything down where the cooling coils are, and things will get really cold down there, and then as you move away from them and up, then things get warmer, so you can distribute your refrigerated items in a way that it kind of becomes a dual zone, but not quite. But anyway, that's where I'm headed. So weather has been really rainy. It's sunny out right now, and I'm getting pretty good voltage, about 14.7 volts, about 9 amps. But it's been raining since yesterday. Probably, I'm going to guess late morning, maybe afternoon it started raining. Rained off and on all day, rained all night. I spent some time, going around the inside of the trailer looking for leaks. That heavy of a rain and that long of a rain, I want to make sure that I'm watertight, and everything looks really good. Saw no leaks per se, except for one on this back door down in the very lowest corner down there. There's some water that's accumulated, not even accumulated, it looks like it's coming in through the seal, hitting the floor, and kind of running out from underneath the door. So it's not accumulating there. I may work at tracing it down a little bit later, but right now I'm not concerned about it, and it only happens when it's really a severe rain. But so I'm going to stay, or we stayed in Coeur d'Alene area for about 2 months, camped at Bumblebee Meadows Campground 4 and 5, and we'd alternate and kind of move around per the ranger's suggestions. The rules are that you have to leave the forest, but the ranger said that if we just move up the river, he's fine with that. So that's what we did. I had a blast. That river was just wonderful to just go dip in when it got hot, but it was a little bit noisy. I'd do it again. Cell service was non-existent. You had to drive about 5 miles to where the Little North Fork entered the North Fork of the Coeur d'Alene, and for some reason you could get cell service there. And so we would do that every other day or so, every few days, and check email, text folks, make calls, whatever it is that we needed to do. But any other time, in the campgrounds, it was pretty much no-go. Bumblebee Meadows 5, maybe you could get a text through once in a while. If you wrote a text, you'd get like this transient signal, and it'd take a couple of hours, but it'd go out, and then a couple hours later, assuming somebody responded, you'd get a reply back. But today I slept in a little bit. I didn't get up until about 9. I woke up about 2:30 or so, and just kind of laid in bed and played a video game on my phone, and then went back to sleep about an hour later and slept until about 9 o'clock. I was tired yesterday. I didn't sleep very good the night before. Weather has been rainy. It's been kind of cool at night. High 60s, mid to high 60s during the day. Low 40s, mid to low 40s at night. We're coming up to some sunny days here. Tomorrow is supposed to be mostly sunny, I think, and then Friday is supposed to be sunny. And then it looks like there's some more precipitation coming up for the weekend, but the temperatures are dropping down to like 33. So I'm going to try to do some advanced prep to keep liquids and things in places where I don't have to worry about them freezing, because we're at 10,000 feet, and the temperature at which water phases into ice is a lot higher. So it doesn't have to get down to 32 in order for water to freeze. And in fact, I've seen frost out on my table out here. After waking up in the morning, and that water would be frozen. So let's see. I'm going to be here for about another week and a half. I think I've been here for about a little over half a week. So I'll be here for about another week and a half. That'll be my 2 weeks. And then I'm going to head south, looking for some places south to go. I've been looking at the Salida area, Buena Vista, but they're not very far. It's only about 50 miles. I guess that could be actually be a good thing. But I mean, it's a beautiful area. I'm gonna watch altitudes. I think I want to come down a little bit in altitude because it's starting to get a little cooler. And then after that, I'm gonna spend 2 weeks wherever I end up heading south. And then after that, I'm going to head to Quartzsite. It's still really hot in Quartzsite. I've been watching the weather there, and it's been as high as 117 in the last few days, and I think it's hanging around 104, 103, 104 right now down there in the LTVA, La Posa LTVA, which is where I'm planning on going. And then I'm going to winter there. I'm hoping to stay there for the full 7 months. And sock away some cash and finish out the build, or at least make some more progress on the build. Buy some appliances and some things, and pay off some debt, and maybe get a toy. I don't know. We'll see. So that's the plan. That's the update. That's the plan. I'm liking having this quick bunk thing going on. Oh, I'm going to sit up. My back's killing me here. I like this quick bunk thing. It's a little cramped in here because I don't have this aisleway anymore as a living space. But I'm outdoors most of the time, so I haven't felt like I really needed it. And without Rachel here now that she's in Greeley, I don't really need the pods. I think once I get down to Quartzsite, I'll probably deploy them because it'll give me more space to store stuff. I may put one of the pods together as a sleeping quarters, and I'll get this aisle back. That'll be nice to have. And it's been kind of interesting. 12 minutes again. It's been kind of interesting. Everywhere that I've gone, I've had people come up and ask about the trailer. It's pretty unusual looking, I guess, compared to your standard RV. So folks have asked and expressed an interest and had kind of a positive reaction to everything. So I'm thinking I would like to deploy these in Quartzsite, and if folks want to come and see it and ask me why I did what I did and how I did it and that kind of stuff, then so I'll probably do that. Did some math. I've been eating about anywhere between I'll call it 1,500 calories, give or take, depending every day. Inexpensive stuff, canned meats that I've gotten for like $1, cans of chili, $1.50, hot dogs about $4, but I get 8 of them, and I eat like maybe 2 in a meal. Ramen. Sorry, Sandy. I like ramen, especially if you kind of doctor it up a little bit. It's not too bad, and it's cheap. It's like, I don't know what, 10 cents, 15 cents a pack or something. So it's hard to beat. But anyway, I've been eating for about $3 a day. So I can feed myself on about $90 a month. I've got car insurance, so that's, and I haven't been talking about that. So, but I think that's going to change. I think I'll probably upgrade to something a little bigger. Part of the goal of staying in Quartzsite for the 7 months is to collect enough cash to buy something and pay for it, so I don't have the car payment anymore, and then I don't have to pay full coverage insurance. So that'll bring my living costs way down as well. And I won't have the car payment either. So I can live, if everything's all paid for about $100 a month, food-wise. And then if I have car insurance, then whatever that's going to be. But I don't think it'll be too expensive. Oh, sorry, that's the fan on my inverter going off. Hopefully it's not too loud. And we're still at absorption, 14.8 volts, 9 amps, even with the refrigerator plugged in and running, and I've got my phone charging, and I had a light on earlier, so I've been really happy with the performance of the solar. I'm going to add another panel and another battery, though, and probably upgrade the inverter to something a little heftier. A tiny metal tube has 3,000 watts of inversion. He really has a nice solar system. I know some of you have already expressed it, but I'm a little envious of it myself. So nice work, dude. What else? Organize some things. I got some totes back, so I was able to kind of get things a little better organized. We had a little bit of trouble with stuff falling out in transit. I'm going to do a little work up here and get some D-rings installed so I can tie some things back a little better and just kind of tidy things up a little bit while I'm here. And there's nobody here. I don't have Rachel anymore. Tiny Metal 2 went home last night, so I'm going to have some time. I don't feel like I have to be a host, and so I can get back to work here and get some things done, and get ready for the move south here in the next few weeks. So, all right. Well, love you guys. Appreciate you guys. As always, thanks for any comments. Welcome questions. I'll get Tiny Metal Tube's link down here again, so you can visit his site and see his build. It's worth a look. I mean, he's really got some good ideas. I mean, he didn't really focus on the aesthetic as much as the pragmatic, and that's fine. That's great. I mean, that's what it's about. We don't have to look pretty. We just need to live well, and that's kind of the philosophy that he has, and I tend to agree with it. I kind of went down a lot more of an aesthetic route here in my build, and in retrospect, I kind of wish that I hadn't done it. I spent more money on better plywood and some things. But anyway, so I'll leave a link for that. Link to photographs. I've been putting them up a little bit every now and again, and want to encourage you to take a look at those. As I've said in the last few episodes, is that what they're called? Episodes? Posts, I guess. I'm looking to build a channel. I'm hoping to develop a little extra cash, and so if you would like to help me with that, I would certainly appreciate it. What are the processes like? Subscribe, share, all the things that you do to help people promote their channels. I'm not really that deep into YouTube. I don't know all of the ins and outs and settings and stuff. Sorry, Sandy. Some of them, like one you asked me about, I think I saw it once, but then I couldn't find my way back to it to change it. So the chat thing, live chat or something. But I'll look for it again if I ever do that again. But all right. So this is second goodbye. Maybe I can do it. Maybe I can do it 2 goodbyes this time. All right, you guys. I love you and appreciate you, and thanks again for watching and for your comments and your questions. And we'll see you later.